Well guys, you all probably know that One Punch Man Season 3 has officially been released, but unlike other YouTubers, we're not here to talk about its animation, and we're definitely not going to call it One Frame Man. But one thing I can guarantee is that whenever Dragon Ball Super Season 2 drops, the internet will literally break, and along with that, the animation is going to be a total W. We already got a small glimpse of that quality recently in Dragon Ball Daima. Well, today's video is about this. After One Punch Man Season 3's release, Saitama fans have started believing that he can now easily surpass Goku. That's why today, we're going to compare Saitama from One Punch Man Season 3 with Goku from Dragon Ball Super. Now, so far, Season 3 hasn't shown many great feats, but we know it's based on the One Punch Man manga, so we'll use manga Saitama for this comparison. And one more thing, I don't care whether people say Saitama is 5D or 6D because first of all, that's completely wrong, though I won't debunk that in this video. But yes, Saitama has an outer-versal meta, and I'll debunk that right here in this short video. And if Saitama's outer-versal meta gets debunked, I can easily scale Goku to outer-versal level and make him defeat Saitama. So, when it comes to Saitama's outer-versal scaling, it's fully based on platonic concepts, which I'll now debunk. So this is the debunk for platonic forms or concepts. These ideas scale absolutely nowhere. Same goes for Jungian archetypes and similar philosophies. Jung's archetypes are just a metaphysical way to describe things. According to Jung, there are 12 archetypes, like hero, sadness, shadow, etc. But all of these are just subjective concepts created by the human mind. And Jung's personality theory is fully based on human psychology. Platonism, in simple terms, is a philosophical theory claiming that every material object has a perfect origin or concept from which it's derived, meaning no material thing is the cause of its own existence. It depends on a higher abstract and immaterial concept. Plato used mathematics and numbers as examples, since he believed they're abstract entities and every physical thing originates from them. That's why he placed all these perfect forms in a single realm called Hyperuranium, the world of ideas. Now, Plato was partially correct when he considered time and mathematics to be abstract concepts, but his mistake was declaring that everything is just a copy of a perfect form, without realizing that some concepts don't actually exist. To get specific, a concept is simply an idea, a representation that expresses the origin of a phenomenon. Some concepts are objective, universally valid, and applicable in every case, while others are subjective, not universally valid. Examples of objective concepts are mathematics, space, and time, because universal rules or axioms apply to them. Examples of subjective concepts are things like fire versus water, light versus darkness, good versus evil, glory, victory, beauty, etc. Here's the clear difference. If an entity transcends concepts like dimensions, space, and time, it means it has surpassed all physical and dimensional structures because it's beyond their origin. But if someone transcends the concept of beauty, that doesn't mean anything because beauty doesn't actually exist. It's just a creation of human imagination. It has no physical property or universal law. The same logic applies to glory or any other subjective concept. Plato's mistake was that he treated subjective things like victory and beauty as objective, and claimed that transcending things like evil or justice means being beyond all dimensions. But obviously, that's nonsense. There's no logical connection between platonic concepts and outer-versal scaling. And finally, subjective concepts don't actually exist. In reality, only that which is can exist, and what cannot be simply doesn't. Meaning, if beauty is a subjective concept, that doesn't mean it exists in a subjective way. It just doesn't exist at all, since it has no objective, quantifiable value. People assign it meaning however they like, because there's no real or correct standard to measure it by. So, that was Saitama's entire outer-versal platonic concept debunk. And even in Saitama versus Garo's recent fight, only stars were shown being destroyed. So I don't know why Saitama fans keep calling him Galaxy level, because there's absolutely no such feat shown. And as for Saitama's infinite power, Infinite has different levels, and from what we know, Saitama only has 3D infinite power, which isn't even universal. Plus, and even if somehow a 5D meta existed, that would mean he has infinite 5D power at most, which still isn't confirmed. So if Goku's AP is outerversal, then none of this stands a chance against him. Now, let's start scaling Goku. To prove Goku outerversal, I'll use the easiest meta, the World of Void, which is personally my favorite. The World of Void is described as a dimensionless realm that's also infinite and filled with nothingness, meaning the concept of dimensionality doesn't exist there. If a realm is dimensionless, there are only two possibilities. Either it's zero-dimensional or it's outerversal. So anyone disagreeing with me has to prove a third possibility exists. Now, in the World of Void, movement was possible, which is impossible in a zero-dimensional realm. That automatically eliminates the 0D condition, making the World of Void qualify as outerversal. But of course, down players couldn't stay silent. They said the Grand Priest added time into the World of Void. Well, those who've watched the final Dragon Ball Super arc know that the Grand Priest added time in tax, which was 48 minutes in earthly terms. And that time was different for every fighter, proving it was subjective time, not objective. And besides, numbers themselves don't physically exist in our world. I hope you guys got that point. Also, some people say Hit used time skip inside the World of Void. But whenever Hit uses time skip, he goes into his own separate realm, where time obviously exists. Now, Goku literally shook the entire World of Void. And if you've seen the scan of Goku mastered Ultra Instinct, fighting Jiren, Limit Breaker in this same video, you already know they were both moving and clashing within the World of Void, which directly means Goku's AP is outerversal and his speed is irrelevant. And as I've already explained in multiple videos with proof, in Dragon Ball, power equals speed, and high-tier beings can't even be affected by hacks. So, in a battle between Goku from Dragon Ball Super and Saitama from One Punch Man Season 3, Goku easily wins with zero difficulty. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I'll see you all in the next one with another awesome topic. Until then, take care and goodbye. And remember, this is Scalinox, where fiction meets power.